What do you think of the voting reform legislation that's been passing through the legislature? What are its strengths and weaknesses?
The reform in terms of the election process, it's twofold. You have the ethics portion that deals with money in campaigns, but you also have the problem that we have with the actual voting. The actual voting, being able to know that people know that their votes are counted, and they know that they don't have to wait in line for 4 and 5 hours to vote. We've passed an elections bill that's over in the Senate now, and we're hoping that it comes back. There are certain things we were hopeful that would be included. It looked like at one time the Senate had reached an agreement on most of those issues. So we're hoping that that comes back and we pass it out of the House on a bipartisan effort. We all agreed to it, knowing that it would be amended and come back. Those amendments were put on, and now it looks like there may be some issues. But if it comes back with the additional elements that we expected, we'll vote for it again. If not, then there may be a lot more debate. However, when you deal with the ethics, that's a different thing. We're in favor of elimination of the CCEs, which is what we sent over. We had a problem with the infusion of more money into the process. They were raising contributions limits from $500 to $10,000. And there was also efforts to carry over amounts of $50,000, $100,000 from one election to another. Those were the suggestions and some of the initial thoughts. Well, we don't think that we need to infuse more money into this process. And that's where we have a difference of opinion about it. But the best part of it, though, is the fact that there's going to be more transparency. That way, individuals know who's sending out certain ads. Individuals know, the citizens know, who are contributing to the various campaigns. That's what we think is the best part of the changes.
Going back to the elections or the voting process itself, we had all those television pictures of long lines down in your neck of the woods and so forth. To you, what are the most important steps that the state can take to reduce those long voting lines and so forth that are in the legislation that's moving?
Well, I think you're absolutely right that those visions of those long lines and the fact that when the final count was tallied for the president, Florida still had not even finished tallying their votes. I think that that's why we've been pushed to make some decisions. I think the number one thing is giving discretion to the supervisors of elections in our 67 various counties. They know what's the best spots where we don't have to, where we can place the machines, and we were kind of tying their hands, saying you had to have it here, or you had to have it here. When we went around the state and talked to the supervisors of elections, what they asked for discretion. Give us the ability to decide where we're going to set up. Give us the ability to decide which days within a certain defined number of days that we would like to vote on. And the people would like to have some mandatory Sunday voting. That's been important in terms of early voting. This is what the people were asking for. And I think if you listen to the residents and you listen to the supervisors of election, then we're going to make the right decisions. A lot of time we try to manage from Tallahassee, and where the individuals in the communities, they know what works, and they've been doing it for a while. And I know down in Broward County, our supervisor of election in Palm Beach and Miami, they have a good handle on this, and if we don't tie their hands, we allow them to do what's needed, they'll get it done right.